What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it's Saturday night, and we've got some great music and a real celebration of creative expression. For it's our annual support and celebration of the ILLUMINATE Film Festival. We've been doing this every year since we started doing these shows, and it's really exciting that we have, as my co-host, that I get to co-pilot the ship with tonight, the executive director of the ILLUMINATE Film Festival, Tayana Davis. And people need to mute. Please, somebody out there mute. Tayana.
Hi, Scott. It's great to be here. And I'm just taking that as a sign that there's a lot of excitement and energy popping around ILLUMINATE. And I'm excited to introduce the viewers to some of our filmmakers and workshop leaders in a little bit. So thanks for all your support through the years.
Absolutely. So, a lot of our people probably remember previous years when it was in Sedona. Tell us a little bit about the journey of how it shifted from Sedona to your home, Santa Barbara, and how you came in to really kind of thank you for picking up the ball when Danette needed to move on. Tell us a little bit about your journey with ILLUMINATE.
Sure. Well, gosh, I've always admired what Danette Walpert, founder and former ED, had been doing with ILLUMINATE. And myself and my partner have been longtime, we could say, like conscious filmmakers or evolutionary filmmakers and creators of messaging campaigns, particularly to do with indigenous residents of the Amazon rainforest. And so I've always had an appreciation for media that is really looking to make a difference in the world and help create a world that works for all. I was co-director of the Shift Your World Film Festival, and Danette saw what we were doing there and said, gosh, it's so similar. Maybe, I'm ready to step away. Maybe you could step in, Tayana. And I considered it for a long time, and we just kept having these great conversations and realized that we really were aligned with our vision for creating a hub for filmmakers who are making this transformational content to be able to feel supported, like they have a home, and for audiences to come and just create a real resilient web of community around these messages that are communicated in this art form, this visual medium that has such tremendous power when you put visuals and music and really excellent storytelling together. And when the films are created from an awakened state of mind, they become a transmission. So when we're curating for ILLUMINATE, we're looking for that content that is created from an awakened state of mind, because we feel it's more than just what you see in the film. It's really the consciousness of the creator and creators that comes through and has an impact on more layers than we might even be cognizant of. So in terms of getting Illuminate to Santa Barbara, Danette and the board came out here, and Santa Barbara's where I live, by the way. And it has been time for Illuminate to spread its wings and come to a bigger city. So it actually was perfect. The board felt Santa Barbara is very demographically similar to Sedona in many ways, but it's a little bit bigger and it's a little bit more accessible, frankly. It's close to Los Angeles. We have our own airport. You don't have to drive 3 hours after you come into Phoenix. So a lot of boxes were getting ticked, and the stars aligned. And last June, we decided, yep, it's moving to Santa Barbara. And so this whole year it's been an uphill climb. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a lot of work to reestablish Illuminate in a new city, because it's all new venues, it's all new, sponsors and donors and audience. Although I will say we have a great contingent of longtime Illuminate supporters coming from Sedona for the Santa Barbara Festival. And then we have, of course, a virtual festival. After the in-person in Santa Barbara, we have a whole week of many of the same films and some new films that you're going to hear about this evening that run in the virtual. And people from all over the world, wherever you are, can buy a pass for the virtual and see what we're programming, as well as participate in some really fun live events that we're doing. One is called Movies Make Movements Happen. And this is our theme this year. Movies aren't just movies. If they're done right, and if there's an impact campaign, and if we gather community around these films, they become movements. And so that live event is part of the virtual festival for those pass holders. And I'm not going to give away what's going to happen there, but it's going to be great. And we have an award ceremony to close out the virtual festival. And I think, just like every year before, Scott, it's this touchstone during the year that allows all of us who really recognize the power of film to transform the world and to showcase solutions. We're all about solution-oriented cinema. And when we as a community can gather around solution-oriented cinema, evolution can really accelerate. And it's so fun too. I love putting entertainment and enlightenment together, because if you want to change the world, you have to throw a better party. I'm like 100% committed to that. So we'll certainly be changing the world by having better parties, both in Santa Barbara and online.
Fantastic. Well, of course, the majority of our people are watching online. And last year, we've had a lot of Global Peace Tribers who did buy subscriptions to the online program. So take us online and show people how they can register. And then we're going to show people trailers for some of the films. But Tayana, go ahead and show people how they can get this year.
Happy to. So here we are at the 2024.illuminatefilmfestival.com. Okay, so 2024.illuminatefilmfestival.com. And you can see the hummingbird has really emerged as our emblem this year. There's a lot of magic that's been happening around this little creature, the hummingbird. And the hummingbird has been pollinating many different elements together, and people from all over the world who are showing up to be a part of this movement. So here you see our theme, and then you can experience the festival two ways. There's in person and virtual. And I will say that the in-person all access passes are sold out, which is amazing. But you can still purchase individual film tickets if you happen to live in Santa Barbara or nearby. And then the virtual, as I said, is available to all, no matter what country you live in. And to get a virtual ticket pass to get a pass, you just click on this where my cursor is, and that will easily take you to get a virtual pass. And then we can just go down to look at some of our film lineup, and I'll just scroll through here. The story of John Robbins, Love Over Money. He walked away from a lot of money and a big ice cream empire because it wasn't resonating with his deepest essence. And he forged his own path. Unveiled features Joyce Tennyson, one of the top 10 female photographers of all times. And Source is a world festival premiere of Joe Dispenza's work. So I'll just keep going. We have a film about Ayurveda, the natural law, and that film is both in person and online, as is Uncharitable, which is a really interesting take on nonprofits and the role that they play in our society and how we might look at them differently and appreciate them more. We have a remastered 5th anniversary edition of Fantastic Fungi, that's in person. And yeah, some other great films, including ones that we'll be talking about later, The Village of Lovers and Planetary Pilgrim. So I think that's kind of my website showcase, but I will just say here that under workshops and labs, you can see here we have a source to screen lab. This is April 8th through 12th in Santa Barbara at a beautiful new retreat center called the Empathy Center. And Paula DiFlorio, who's here with us this evening, she is a co-teacher with Peter Rader of this 5-day creativity lab. So I just wanted to call that out because it's a very special offering that's been at Esalen and been at Illuminate in prior years. And it's getting pretty full. There's been a tremendous response. So we'll let Paula talk about that a little bit later. Some great special events. Gosh, this is more than a film festival, right? It's it's meditations and dance parties and workshops and closing night celebrations. So I'll just stop my share now and give it back to you, Scott.
Fantastic. What a wonderful, you've just done an amazing job. And I'm going to try and make it down for some of that, by the way. We've talked about that, and I'm planning a trip down to Southern California, so hopefully I'll be able to be there. But in either case, I definitely want for as many of our people to participate in the online event as possible. And you know, Tayana, on Saturday nights, we always have live music. Usually we would go to Omashar. We are going to play an Omashar video a little bit later, but we've got Fanny and Vigari with us. And we love Fanny and Vigari. So welcome back. You're two of our favorite musical artists. And as always, you've got the most gorgeous background. Look at all that going on. And people are already cheering, yay, Fanny and Vigari. Reverend Jeffrey Coldbrick wrote, a Lovolution Film Festival for sure. So take it away, Fanny.
Fanny and Vigari, better known
Fanny
as
and
the Mystiques.
We are
The
the
Mystique.
nomads of our world, bringing peace and love and illumination into our home, which is planet Earth. So thank you so much for having us on the show. This beautiful song is written by Vigari, Vigario, the Mystique Vigari. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got, somebody needs to unmute. I muted them. So remember, everybody, to keep yourselves muted.
Should I put the...
There we go. Sorry about that. Usually
Omashar?
Omashar does the muting, right? Where's Omashar?
Where's Omashar?
He's with his mama in England.
Yes. And so is
Okay.
Vigari almost leaving this week to go with his ailing mother also. So they're very similar, brotherly, and the space where they're in
Yes,
is
a
very
kind of a
similar.
synchronicity.
Yes, it is. So we are singing this song tonight, Heart of the Heart, written by my beautiful Vigari.
Yeah, and it's a song about basically reaching within to consult your higher being, your inner being, for guidance, for direction. It's called Heart of the Heart.
Here we are. Just gonna be a second.
It's in you and it's in me. You might say that it is the key. If it showed so you could see, would you let it set you free? Feel the part of you shining the light that will lead you right to where you need to be. Look around, look inside. There's no telling what you're gonna find. Look around, look inside. Every question could be your guide. Feel that silent part of you shining the light that will lead you right to where you need to be. I'm reaching for the highest places.
Reaching higher.
Let me find grace in the deepest feelings
Feel
here.
those feelings.
Just carry me into the heart,
Into the heart.
where all is clear. Into the heart of the heart. Let this be my prayer. Through the fire, lead me safely, and we'll go beyond desire. In the healing waters, may our crimes and now disgrace be washed away. I'm reaching for the highest places. Let me find grace in the deepest feelings here. Carry me into the heart,
Into the heart.
where all is clear. Into the heart of the heart. Let's be my prayer. Reaching for the highest places. Let me find grace. Let the deepest feelings I can feel just carry me into the heart, where all is clear. Into the heart of the heart. Let this be my prayer. I'm reaching for the highest places. Let me find grace in the deepest feelings here. Just carry me into the heart,
Into the heart.
where all is clear. Into the heart of the heart of the heart. Let this be my prayer.
Oh, we love you guys so much. I'm going to go to gallery view, everybody. Let's give them a lot of awakening world calls. And isn't it fantastic to have our beloved Eleanor Joy? For those of you who don't know, Eleanor Joy is who usually, she and Reverend Jeffrey are who always lead the moving and the dancing. And even in her hospital bed, there she is, blessing us with, and you look wonderful, Eleanor Joy. You know, yellow becomes you.
Sunshine.
Absolutely. It's so good to see you. And we love you very much. And while we have the camera on her, let's just take a moment and send maximum grace to Eleanor Joy.
Yes, let the sun shine on you. The sun, the light, the healing sunshine light within you, within all of us, creating a divine healing light. And so it is.
And so it is.
Many blessings upon you, Eleanor Joy, and blessings on all of the Global Peace Tribe.
Yes.
Thank you. We love you so much, Eleanor Joy. And we love Fanny and Vigari. And just so people know, the way you can get their music, for those of you in the Zoom room, I put it in the chat box. And for those of you watching on Facebook and our broadcast partners, go to The Mystiques 1111. That's The Mystiques 1111.bandcamp.com. That's the best way to get their wonderful albums. I really recommend Awaken 1111. It's a beautiful album. I enjoy playing it. And Fanny and Vigari will be back a little bit later on in the show. And hopefully so will be our beloved Eleanor Joy. But now we are going to kind of go into the main thrust of the show, which is we get to meet filmmakers. And Tayana, I'd love for you to introduce our first filmmaker.
Oh, thank you, Scott. And beautiful music and just feeling the beautiful community. It's wonderful what you've cultivated over the years, and we're thrilled to be a part of it, Scott. And I'm excited to introduce our first filmmaker. His name is Dawa Tarwin Phillips, and his film in the festival is Planetary Pilgrim. So Dawa is a spiritual leader, a best-selling author, filmmaker, and serial entrepreneur. He's the founder of Empowerment Holdings, an international mindful leadership company. And there's a whole bunch of other things that he does, but I'll just let you know that he is also a member of the Transformational Leadership Council and the Association of Transformational Leaders. He's also a leading voice in the global mindfulness and consciousness movement. He lives with his family in Santa Barbara, California. So
Wow.
Dawa, welcome.
Thank you. Hello there. Such a beautiful song. My heart is still resonating from the music. As the song was playing, I got the message that my sister-in-law gave birth to their son, literally as the song was playing.
Wow.
So his name is
God.
Luca, and he was born during the song. So
Beautiful.
I take that as a very auspicious moment.
That is so cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sure.
So,
I'm very happy to share that.
I think there are layers of auspiciousness that are yet to be revealed. I'll just say that. Paula's nodding her head. Yes. So, Dawa, we're going to play the trailer for Planetary Pilgrim in just a moment. But first, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your background as a filmmaker in particular, and what drew you to spend the years and the time and the effort and the resources that it takes to create a film like Planetary Pilgrim.
It's a great question. Maybe, for those of us who are working on this awakening world, I would say the instructions all come from the same place. So for me, I was guided to make a film. I had never made a film before. It wasn't on my mind, and I was told it was important that I made a film. And So I started the journey of learning everything there's to learn about filmmaking and what it would entail, and building the team required, because filmmaking is definitely something you can only do together. It takes a lot of people and a lot of collaboration. And then trusting the process, trusting the process, that the intention behind it and the desire to share a message about this awakening world that you are making the festival about, and that you're promoting here with this show, that was an important message to carry forward and to be a vessel for. And I've always been an artist. I think, growing up and throughout my entire life, I've always had art in my life. I've always made art, and filmmaking was one other form of art to do. And it took a lot of trust. And if you're not, I would say you have to be comfortable feeling stupid, because when you do something for the first time, you feel like a 2-year-old most of the time. But in time, if, as friends of mine say, you have to dare to suck. And then if you do that often enough, something worthwhile can come out of you. So it took a lot of work by a lot of people. And I'm the only one here maybe giving answers to your questions, but there are a lot of people behind this film that poured their heart into it.
I know that filmmaking is, as you say, such a collaborative art, which is part of the beauty of it, I think. And it really is an example of, the sum of its parts being more than just the parts alone. Somehow the synergy, the alchemy of all of the people on location in that, edit bay, there's energy from all of the filmmakers, above the line, below the line, and it comes in and infuses the film. And I know that we get so close to the people that we're working with. Do you feel like, was there a little family created around this film?
Absolutely. And also to the context of the film, we traveled together for 30 days around the globe. And so it was very, very intimate. And then the filming is one part, the editing is a whole nother part. There's a different level of vulnerability required during the editing process than during the filming process. But yes, one definitely becomes a family. And then in the post-production, from the color coding to the music to the editing to the sound design, there's so many aspects that go into this, and everyone brings their own creativity, if one allows for that, brings their own creativity to this piece of art. And and so it's a kind of a combination between the makers of the film and the audience that are present throughout the entire process, I would say.
Well, let's go ahead and show our viewers the trailer of this film.
Hey, here we go.
Planetary Pilgrim.
Okay, see if I can get this right. It's visiting 17 places in 5 countries on 4 continents in 30 days. Is that right?
That's right.
That's
yes.
right. Wow, that's an undertaking.
I wanted to help bring the planet back in the conversation of what spirituality actually is about. I knew that I was going to do the trip by myself, but I thought maybe there are others. Maybe there are others that are ready to do a pilgrimage that is not just to the homeland of their tradition.
Who can say that they went around the world in 30 days, and it's the first as well of a pilgrimage going around the world.
I can't wait to see what I learn.
My mom wants me to meditate, but I can't sit still very long unless I'm drawing or writing or something.
I've never gotten off the grid and said goodbye to my daily routine. Never done that before in my entire adult life.
Freedom!
I would describe being a pilgrim as being on a path where you are curious and open-hearted.
Our sense of who we are is limited to our daily experiences, our actions, our routines, our communities, and our sense of history. But what happens when life takes us on an unexpected journey that brings looming questions into focus? There are moments when we get to step out of the ordinary and bear witness to the extraordinary. We glimpse the whole picture and our small but important place within it.
Wow, that looks fabulous. I definitely want to watch that one. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, okay.
Because Dawa, you know, I was reminded of when we travel, we're lifted out of the mundane. It's a transcendent experience, actually, and it's just like the arts. I think music, like things that allow us to uplift above the fog of the everyday, and in that uplifted place, we can see a bigger picture. We also are, like you said in the trailer, I mean, it's sort of a new experience of who we are without the habits and without the day-to-day stuff. There's an opportunity, I guess is what I'm saying. There's an opportunity to know ourselves and our community anew. What would you have to say about that?
Yes, I mean, I grew up as a Buddhist monk. I spent 12 years in a Buddhist monastery, 7 of those in meditation retreat. And before that, I'd led many pilgrimages to India, to Nepal, to Bhutan. And it was actually in Bhutan, in a meditation, where I was shown that the next pilgrimage would have nothing to do with the spiritual tradition where I had been trained, but it would be a pilgrimage of unifying consciousness, and it would be to honor the earth. And I didn't know what that meant. I could only tell that my relationship to the earth was not yet mature. That you know, I have friends who are scientists who have been for years trying to get my attention about climate change, and I asked myself at some point, like, what, you know, how can I digest what is happening with regard to climate change? And I realized the only way would be to go further into the relationship with our world and with our planet, and to really get beyond this sense of separation, and to allow my heart to really feel this planet and the people on it. And I didn't know what that meant. I just knew I had to do this journey, this pilgrimage. And then as we were planning it, it took about 120 people to plan this for a few years. But then as we were getting close to leaving, that's when it became clear that it was important to make a film. And so then that took another maybe 6 months of planning. But so that a little bit to understand how we got there, it was really also an opening up by everyone involved to this unifying consciousness that wants to awaken on the planet and with the planet, not just on the planet, but maybe even through and with the planet.
Oh, wow. That is something I want to delve deeper into. And Dawa, you and I will be speaking after Planetary Pilgrim plays in the virtual festival. So people will have an opportunity to go a little bit deeper. And I want to bookmark that. Don't let me forget that, because what you just said is very compelling. Just not just on the planet, but with the planet, or even through the planet. So I'm excited about diving deeper into that during the virtual festival. And Dawa, thank you for being here. I know we have to move on, but gosh, I'm really just excited for everybody to see Planetary Pilgrim, which, by the way, I believe is a world premiere. Is that right?
That is right. It's a world premiere, which also speaks to your festival, because also it was clearly indicated that it would be the right time to release the film. So it's a world premiere, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you for your time.
Dawa, I'm very excited to see your film. Thank you. And let your sister know that clearly her new child, global peace triber. No doubt about it.
Yes. It's my sister-in-law, but yes, I will let her know.
Your sister-in-law, absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It was really, really beautiful film. Just beautiful. I can't wait to see. Well, you know, normally our beloved Omushar is with us, and I'm already missing him. I think we all are. And a reminder, he's with his mom, who's kind of in her final chapter. And but being the wonderful Omushar that he is, he sent us multiple videos that I'll still be able to play at least one Omushar video each Awakening World show while he's gone. And so here's the first one that he sent. It's called Another Dawn. And here's our beloved Omushar.
Another dawn, another day. Innocent child coming your way. I've been wondering about my life. Oh yeah. Wondering about my state of mind. But then I heard, who is it for? If not for yourself, how do you feel? And why do you cry, 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 cry? Shooby-doo-wop. The sun is warming up my mind. Ocean breeze blows me away. And yet still, I've been wondering about my life. Oh yeah. Wondering who will take my place. But then I heard, who is it for? For yourself, how do you feel? And why do you cry, 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 cry? Who is it for? If not for yourself, how do you feel? And why do you cry, 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 who is it for? If not for yourself, how do you feel? So come on, let's fly. Come on, let's fly.
Mm-hmm. And spotlighted our three wonderful cheerleaders, Reverend Jeffrey, Eleanor Joy, and Tiara. Thank you for carrying on, and thank you, beloved Omashar. And people have been asking, well, where do we get the information on Illuminate Film Festivals? So again, it's simple. The website is illuminatefilmfestival.com, and that's where you can learn all about it. Go to the virtual screening room or become a member. You definitely want to support this amazing festival, because wait till you meet the next two people that Tayan is going to introduce us to. You're going to love Paola, just like we loved Dawa. Dawa, I don't know if you've seen all the comments in the chat box, but a lot of wonderful comments already about your film. And I'm going to turn things back over to Tayana.
Oh, thanks, Scott. Well, again, I'll just share a very little bit about Paula, because I could speak for a long time about her accomplishments. But Paula, aside from being a friend, a dear friend of mine, is an Oscar and Emmy nominated director, writer, and producer, also a Sundance Jury Prize nominee, an NYU graduate. She's the founder of Counterpoint Films, a vanguard in the conscious media space. Following the launch of the top-grossing documentary, Awake, The Life of Yogananda. I bet a lot of you have seen Awake. That's such a great and classic spiritual film. Her company's mission is to create experiences through storytelling that awaken the human spirit. I think Paula is in the right place with us right now. Yeah. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you so much, Tayana. And thank you, Scott. So great to be here. Definitely Global Peace Tribe. Yes. And Dawa, your film, my gosh, I can't wait to see it. And, I went for the first time on pilgrimage to India. I'd been there working on pilgrimage, but this time I went for myself, and it was really, really profound. So I cannot wait to see your film. Thank you.
So Paula, while you are a filmmaker and while Awake is celebrating its 10-year anniversary, is that right?
Yes.
Wow. Well, so your involvement this year at Illuminate, though, is a little bit different. You're teaching Source to Screen, which is a 5-day creativity lab. And maybe what we'll do is just roll the video about Source to Screen, and then you can tell us all a little more. Does that sound good to everybody?
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Paula, have you pulled it together so you're going to be able to?
I might be able to. Let's see if I can.
Okay, great.
Okay, let's see if we can make this work.
We're still seeing just you. Paula? We're only seeing,
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Is that working?
No.
This is Peter. I've just posted the Vimeo link in the chat.
Okay.
There, Scott. Can you see it?
Yes. Okay. If we're going to do this, then chat for a couple minutes, because it's going to take me a minute to take the video link, embed it into my computer.
Okay, so no worries. So we'll chat. Yeah. So Paula, so you co-teach this with your husband Peter Rader. Hi, Peter. And you've been teaching it for how long? And I think we really want to know the why of this offering.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, let me just say that we actually don't think of ourselves as teachers. We think of ourselves as facilitators, and that's for a real reason, because this is a laboratory. This is where people come to test things out. And what we're doing is really looking at what happens if we create a really supportive environment for going deep within ourselves. And just like on pilgrimage, where we, like Dawa was saying, everything comes into focus because we create that space. Well, we do that same thing in Source to Screen. We're really finding or looking for a situation where we can find that kind of incubator, that environment, that laboratory, where it's okay and safe, and actually it's designed for you to come into alignment with what is happening for you essentially. And is that, if if you actually come into that kind of alignment, then sometimes ideas which actually come and find you rather than you going and finding an idea, they're out there in the ether. And when we are in alignment, the right idea comes to find us and finds a home there. And that's when I think true inspiration kicks in. And I feel like, we don't really live in a world where there's enough to support that. There's so much that is really a distraction for us and becomes almost a part of, we're almost like we are hypnotized, to follow some sort of agenda out there in the world. And, at some point, some of us who are awakening in the world start to realize, wait a minute, what's going on? This doesn't have the meaning. This isn't who I am. This isn't what the planet needs. I have a different purpose. And so many people right now on the planet are waking up to that. And yet there's not a community except for this beautiful community and ILLUMINATE, which is an incredible community. In fact, this lab was born at ILLUMINATE. We took our film Awake, The Life of Yogananda, to ILLUMINATE, and it was the first year. So we got to be a part of that inaugural year in Sedona, which was so exciting, by the way, because there was nothing like it. There still is nothing like it. And for those of you who are going to watch online, that's amazing. And one of these days, please do come and be there on the ground, because it's really an extraordinary experience. You do find your global peace tribe in the flesh. But we were there, and I think that experience was so profound for us, because making Awake was the first time that I had an awakening while making Awake. That's how it worked. I really wasn't looking for a guru. I wasn't looking to make a film like this at all. It found me, and it brought me on a very profound journey that changed my life and the life of my family. My kids were small, and they came on pilgrimage with us in India to make this film. But because of that, I think at ILLUMINATE, Danette said after we had screened there, the following years to come, we were on panels, and then she said, what would you like to, what is it that you want to contribute here? And we had this lab idea. It came through, which was especially for filmmakers at that time, because we were speaking to filmmakers, was how do we take this powerful medium of filmmaking and actually help people bridge that with what is truly happening for them on an essential level, because each of us has this unique nervous system, and we are here sort of taking in this world in a unique way, and we have something singular that comes out that we need to share. And with the right support, incredible things can happen. And that's really what the lab is about. And my co-facilitator, my husband, and my business partner, Peter Rader, together we created Source to Screen, and we brought it to ILLUMINATE to begin with. It was incubating there for a couple of years before we then brought it to Ojai, and then we brought it to Esalen. And it's very, very special for Peter and I to be bringing it this year back to ILLUMINATE in its inaugural year at Santa Barbara. It's so special. And the Empathy Center is really, we couldn't have found a better place. So that is a perfect place for this lab, because it's so inspirational. And what Edwin and his cohorts there are doing, creating a space where we can all come together and feel empathy and love and contribute to the world the way we need to, is profound. So we feel very blessed to be bringing this lab to Source to Screen. So it's for creators of all kinds, not just filmmakers now. It's open to musicians and entrepreneurs and writers. A creator of any kind can come to this lab and really align with what it is that they need to create.
Wonderful.
I'm going to show the video in a moment. I have to say, I loved your movie Awake. Yogananda has been my master teacher since I discovered him at age 16. At 17, I did my first retreat down in Encinitas. I'm a Kriya man.
Wow.
And
That's exciting.
there was so many wonderful things about your movie, including footage that I'd just never seen before. And some of the footage you found was so beautiful. And so thank you for making that wonderful movie about our beloved Yogananda.
Well, all gratitude to the Self-Realization Fellowship and all the monastics, the monks and nuns who really labored to find all of that footage that had been locked away, for years and years, and to bring it out and restore it so that we could use it in the film. And talk about darshan, what you were saying earlier, Tayana, about what comes out in a film. We didn't know what we were getting into when we sat in front of that footage. I had no idea as I sat in front of that footage, trying to, co-direct this film and the edit. And as I was watching all this archival footage, I truly felt that something was shifting and changing within me. So I do think that Yogananda knew what he was doing. Cameras were brand new at that time, and he knew that what he was putting out there into the footage would be lasting and would transform people for decades and possibly centuries.
Beautiful. Absolutely. So many of the people who've been significant in my life also have a connection to Yogananda. I often believe that he brings us together. It's almost like whispers in our ear and kind of guides to make sure that Tayana and Kit Thomas meet each other or whatever it might be.
Not to be confused with Scott Thomas.
That's right. Hey, let's watch. I'm hoping this will play well because I wasn't able to embed it into my computer. So let's give it a go, though. Hopefully it'll play well.
We don't really live in a world that supports or really encourages us to do deep listening. We're distracted by everything around us. We're distracted by our iPhones, our iPads. It's getting harder and harder unless you are consciously trying to reverse those searchlights and go inward, to listen to inspiration.
Source to Screen is a lab for conscious creators. Whether you're a writer or a filmmaker, an entrepreneur, and you want to bring consciousness into your process, you want to do something with purpose and alignment, we create a container where that can occur in a safe and sacred way.
I love helping people find their voice. When ideas find us, I feel like they find us for a really particular reason. And so helping usher that idea into the world, to me, that is spiritual. It's that intersection between your purpose, your dharma, and this idea. And when they meet, they're almost like forming an arrow, and it gives you like that direction.
Wow.
This looks like fun. This looks like a really beautiful experience for people to have.
We're very blessed to be able to do this, and we've been doing it for 7 years now. And each time the cohort that comes together, they're just meant to find each other, and they support each other well beyond the actual lab. So it's a special thing. And we still have I think 1 or 2 spots available, Tayana? Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so to find out more about Source to Screen, it's just the same website. So either illuminatefilmfestival.com, and then you click on the top where it says 2024 Festival, and inside that 2024 Festival page is Source to Screen. So yeah, that's right. So, oh good, it's right there. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, you can easily navigate to register there. So Paula, we're just really touched to have you and Peter back because you are integral to the Illuminate family. You you know, you were there at the very beginning of Illuminate, and now Illuminate is celebrating 10 years
So
and
exciting.
like starting this new chapter in California. And it is so exciting. And it actually just wouldn't be the same without you being involved this year in such an important, meaningful way. Because, like you said, I mean, the 15, 20 people who are going to be taking this lab, this can change the trajectory of somebody's creative life. And I know that you've witnessed that over the 7 years that you've been teaching it.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, Tana. We're really thrilled that Illuminate has come to Santa Barbara. We actually feel that this is the place for it. So thank you so much for having that vision and for making this happen and for being our fierce leader now.
It's my total pleasure. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
Paula.
Thank you, Scott.
And you have another wonderful filmmaker to introduce us to.
Oh, yes. All right, Ian McKenzie. Where are you, Ian? Let me see here.
Greetings. Hello, hello. Do you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. And let's see, Ian, I'm just looking for your bio, which just disappeared. So what I'm going to do is just allow you to introduce yourself, please.
Just hand it over to me. Well,
Yep.
I'm steeped in a teacher that some may have heard of. His name's Stephen Jenkinson, but he's generally coaches people out of introducing themselves because other people tend to be better at understanding, who you are better than you might think. But I can say that I've been a filmmaker for about 15 years and initially came to film very explicitly to shift consciousness as quickly as possible. That was something that I felt we understood, or myself, I mean, many others too, understood that, the trajectory of the dominant culture was headed off a cliff. And so the need to participate in meaningful ways became apparent. And so for me, I felt that I was drawn to film just as a medium, but itself artistically, but I felt that it was the most effective way actually to reach enough people. And so that really started my journey in film. And yeah, since then I worked on a number of projects. The bio now I see is in the chat there, but worked on one some might know called Occupy Love with a Canadian director named Velcro Ripper, as well as Lost Nation Road, which was about Stephen Jenkinson, as I mentioned, the teacher. Sacred Economics with Charles Eisenstein, some folks may know, as well as Amplify Her, which was looking at the rise of the feminine through primarily electronic music, but yeah, really looking at sort of how to understand what that meant. And then most recently, which is what we're going to talk about now, is The Village of Lovers, which is about a radical community in Portugal that caught my eye about a decade ago and invited me to the community. And I've never been the same.
Oh, amazing. And Ian, I'm just remembering, I don't know if we've actually connected this dot, but I grew up in Victoria, British Columbia, and you are based on Vancouver Island. Is that right?
Indeed, about an hour north of Victoria. So yeah, we share the roots there.
Are you in Duncan?
We have quite a few members of our Global Peace Tribe that are in Victoria and Vancouver area.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's an epicenter.
John and Summer Raymer, who are going to be on a little bit later, are from that area. And Eleanor Joy is from that area as well.
Yeah. Well, Ian, what do you say we roll the trailer for The Village of Lovers and then we can talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. What I might offer just initially is that, so I think it was Dawa who said, film, it can take a number of years, a lot of people, and that's certainly been the case here. This one has taken almost 10 years to put together. It started in 2015, and I didn't expect it to take this long, but lots of things happened, a global pandemic, among other things, and somehow, though, felt like it needed this long, actually, to percolate, to really try to understand what is this community trying to bring, to the global noosphere. And myself and filmmakers, I should mention, I have a co-filmmaker, John Wolfstone. He's based in California, as well as Julia Marianska, and we're this creative triad. Which, if you've ever tried to make a film with 3 directors, I don't recommend it. But but somehow we found our way, and the film, of course, has been touring this last year. And so, yeah, please tee it up there, I believe, Scott.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I just clicked it. That's interesting.
It says double click to enter full screen mode. So maybe it's thinking.
Yeah, my computer just froze. Everything is frozen, so I'm going to need you guys to chat for a moment while my computer
Sure.
unfreezes.
Happy to chat. Happy to chat. Ian, how did you first discover Tamara?
Well, they reached out to me actually after, I believe it was Sacred Economics, and they felt, the email, I believe, I haven't gone back and looked at the specific one, but it said, we're doing some interesting things about love here, and maybe you want to check it out. Because, of course, Occupy Love was also the film I worked on. And so I was drawn to, what were they up to, really? And soon found they were a 40-year-old community, which is rare for communities to make it this long, as well as intergenerational in that they had youth that had been born there and grown up, as well as elders. And I became very enamored, essentially, with, on the one hand, a lot of folks know them because of their sort of radical approach to free love. They're understood as they don't call themselves a free love community. They actually say love free from fear, which is an entirely different thing, which we'll probably get into after this. But essentially, they've really given themselves to understand what generates trust. What does it take to regenerate trust? Because I would say that's one of the things that's in most short supply these days is, how to get humans to trust each other and therefore participate. And as Charles Eisenstein says, to really participate in the healing that needs to happen, the biospheric healing, the social healing. If we don't trust each other, we'll never get there. And so Tamara has really done this research trying to understand actually what does it take to regenerate trust? What are the practices actually that they've crafted and used within the community, to find a kind of coherence amongst each other, which in that sense, they're radical in a lot of ways and not for everybody, but the model that they've been able to enact is absolutely significant actually to others who are also trying to understand, how do we crystallize this new culture of peace?
Wow. Let's see if we can get it to play. I think we can now. There we go.
Something's happening. Here we go.
We are preparing a cultural shift to find new ways of dealing with the crisis where we all are in.
There is a system that has come to a threshold because it has brought this world to a level of collapse.
There must be another possibility to live.
We said, let's try to make experiment how we can live together with all the people that we love. This village of lovers, how we called it.
The first group started and it was growing quite quick.
Everybody of us felt when we make limitations around love, then it will not work. And we will not really live together. After 1 week, we have competition, we are jealous.
When I came to Tamara, I suddenly had the opportunity to experience Eros with more than just one man.
And when that happened, I got scared.
Der Sündenfall besteht darin, dass der Mann anfing, die weibliche Quelle zu erkennen und zu erschrecken und zu unterdrücken. Hier ist eine Quelle der Gewalt, weltweit.
Humanity became afraid of the wild powers of life.
Reclaiming this energy in a new way is a political action. And even if we try to step out, all our societal structures are built on competition.
This is the basic of the patriarchy. I want to have your mind owning.
Throughout the whole history, there is a series of all kinds of utopian attempts at creating community, but you see a never-ending story of failures. We need to find a solution for the big unresolved issue of eros, of love in humanity.
Tamara is really a community with a huge vision of shifting the entire culture of this planet from one of war to one of peace.
It's a place where a culture really based on trust, on transparency, is being born.
We live beyond our individual realm, beyond our realm of friends and family, to understand that we are planetary citizens.
The matriarchal culture, the patriarchal culture. And now something new wants to appear.
Wow, Ian. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And the messages it contains, the courage that it takes for you, your fellow filmmakers, and that community for 40 plus years to really listen deeply without being distracted by what is considered socially acceptable, socially normal. It takes a tremendous amount of courage, and I think just like commitment to touching your essence and doing that in community with others who are committed to the same practice to discover what could be. So tell us a little bit about maybe before you made this film, and you said it took you 10 years. So how have you transformed over the 10 years by getting to know Tamara more deeply while working on this film?
Yeah, good question. You know, one thing I want to say up front too is that, you know, I met a lot of boomers, older boomers who've said, you know, I was there in the 70s and, you know, we failed. A lot of them have a sense of regret or sadness, right? Of, you know, we really wanted to change the world. And there's this line actually in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the book, which maybe is, you know, one of the seminal books so that captured that moment in the 70s, this revolutionary spirit. And the author, of course, Hunter S. Thompson, he quotes where he says in the book, you know, I drove out to the desert and I could see somewhere on the horizon line where the wave crashed against the rocks and sort of rolled back into the sea. And it was something that for me captured that very thing. It's this sense of, wow, you know, we thought everything would be different. And, you know, maybe it hasn't changed as much as we thought. A lot of communities failed because they couldn't solve these major issues around power, money, sex, love. And Tamara is just one community that actually centered those issues and said, we have to solve this. So they have this phrase that they used in those early days, which is nothing human will be foreign to us. What they said, meaning whatever happens, like we'll stick around, we'll see what happens. And, you know, bless them, they did. And managed to iterate and iterate enough. They left Germany. They're primarily Germans initially, and they moved to Portugal. And now they're called Tamara, the community there. Somebody in the chat just mentioned Zeg, which was a sort of sister community that stayed in Germany at the time. And they're very much in contact, the two. But I'd say for me, what really shifted was one, this understanding of Eros, which you saw named in the trailer. Eros understood to be beyond simply sexual love, which is usually how it's translated, but that Eros is really the core life force of you know, everything, and that they, through that deep place of listening, managed to create a kind of attunement to how this energy, how life force wants to move. Dieter Doom, he's one of the co-founders. He called it the sacred matrix. And again, different names, right? There's lots of different names for this, but just that life has a certain intelligence. And if we can attune to life, it gives orientation. It's like, how does life want to move? How does water want to move, right? And if it was, quote, a living being, which it is, surprise. And so for them, they just really attune to that and see where it would take them through this emergent process. And so for me, that was a big shift, understanding Eros as life force, right? And how do we attune to it? And then also understanding that, you know, for most of human history, we've lived in something like a village, right? Small communities with deep connection, solidarity with each other. And for most folks that have my skin tone, right, it's been a long time, ancestrally speaking, that we've lived in something like that. And so to be embedded for a time within a community of Germans, right, ancestrally similar to me, and to feel somewhat of what it was like to be embedded in village once again, awoke something in me that I think, again, a lot of people have a sense of, you could call it a wound of belonging, right? It's like if I really was who I am, if I really showed who I am, would I belong or would I be cast out? And so a lot of people have this, we live in the wake of that. And so for me, Tamara was really this kind of rekindling of a sense of, oh, this is what it could feel like. Not that Tamara's utopia. It isn't, right? It isn't. One of the things in the film that they told us after they saw it, they're like, wow, that was really great. Can you put more challenges in? Is actually what they said. Because they're like, we don't want anybody thinking to move here immediately. But again, they've achieved quite a bit that they're proud of, and that we really wanted to transmit to the globe, again, in a time when trust is in short supply.
Oh my gosh. I appreciate how you're naming trust as such a fundamental fiber of the weaving back together. It's an insight that I've had recently too. I mean, even when trust is wavering, that's when things get cagey and something might not be wrong, but because trust is wavering, there's all sorts of assumptions that start to get made, and the fracture is already there, and it can grow into a big chasm. Mm-hmm. So whether it's your neighbors or your partners or your friends, I mean, just making sure that we can trust one another is absolutely integral to us being able to create a world that works for everyone, humans and creatures. Mm-hmm. Ian, I was struck by something in the trailer. It was about patriarchy, and it was a woman who says that she relates, I think, maybe I'm simplifying this, but like this culture of monogamy and like it must be this way, it absolutely must be this way, to patriarchy. Could you elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're referring to, I think it's Vera, who's one of the daughters of the co-founder that you saw in the film. They equate patriarchy, again, I would lean on the writer Riane Eisler. Some of you may know Chalice and the Blade, of course. But she talks about this distinction of what she calls domination culture. And so patriarchy, I mean, Tamara uses the term too, but it can often actually be a bit misleading, because if you look at the etymology of patriarchy, it means essentially the rule of the father, right? And you could also look at what we understand domination culture to be as essentially a kind of oppression of female sexuality, right? This is what they mean by eros, right? As well as life energy, that if we approach the abundance of life energy, which is available to us from a place of domination, i.e. scarcity, right? If we think of there's not enough to go around, we have to control it in order to get enough, then ironically, we will create the conditions of scarcity. Like this is the complete flip, right? Domination creates scarcity, and we think it's actually a reaction to scarcity, versus relationship. And generally, I would define indigenous cultures as ones who are in relationship. They are in a courtship with life, and there's a reciprocity, which is inherently built in. And so from reciprocity, that's where the infinite game comes from. That's where abundance actually comes from being in when you could say a lovership with life. And so this is where we equate what Tamara says, again, that the masculinity that inherently is one, Benjamin in the film, he says this in the film, but he says essentially it's a inferiority complex of the man, of the erotic potency of women. And so that's where the need to dominate comes from, because it's like, oh, if I don't dominate, I won't get enough for me. And so again, ironically, it actually creates the conditions where women feel unsafe, unwilling to fully bloom, and we sort of get where we're headed. And so Tamara had created conditions to liberate women in this sense, and men. But from there, I mean, it's just the capacity of pleasure and joy and attunement with life is just inherently enhanced tenfold when suddenly there's trust and a kind of solidarity amongst the genders.
Oh, this is so interesting. And of course, I'm thinking about different religions that have come upon this earth over the years, and how those have acted as controlling mechanisms oftentimes for women. And Starhawk once was sharing with me that women used to be depicted as half women, half animals. She's a bird, but she's also an animal. There's claws, and women were lauded for their gorgeous messiness. And then something happened, and women didn't even give birth. They didn't even have sex, and yet they had a child. Mm-hmm. It became very sanitized. And I'm just telling one little thread of one little story from my perspective, but I think it ties into what you're saying. And
Yeah, well, last thing I might say is that, yeah, this ties in deeply with what we see with the transhumanist movement and the AI. And because, again, it's kind of ironic that the AI movement is essentially inhabited primarily by men who are uninitiated in the kinds of power that is being unleashed through artificial intelligence. And again, there's a parallel kind of irony when that through this sense of inferiority, that men are essentially trying to recreate the capacity to give birth to life, as opposed to being in relationship and honoring those that, quote, can give life already. Do you see what I'm saying? So the parallel goes that deep. It's a kind of unwillingness to participate in the infinite game, right? By creating the conditions whereby life's biospheric capacities are actually being lessened, instead of actually, the plea is that men come into lovership with life in order to actually increase the sense of abundance and beauty.
oh wow, Ian, this is rich stuff. I mean, I feel like you're talking about sort of men almost like taking themselves out of the web of life. And in fact, we all need to be in the web of life, in this reciprocal, interconnected dance with each other, right? And with Mother Earth, of course, and with Father Sky. And oh, the AI thing. Okay, we need to bookmark that and have that conversation, because that
Stay
could
tuned.
go on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
There's a lot going on in our chat box, and I just want to read a couple of the comments coming in. There's dozens that have come in, and Ian, you're a very eloquent speaker, and I really appreciate your eloquence about these really tender topics. And many of the people you've referenced have been on our show. Rianne Eisler was on recently. Anyway, Jerry Anderson just wrote, "What an amazing mind Ian has." Ayada writes, "Men come into lovership with the world." Wow, that's beautifully said. Kathy writes, "Hopefully more of humanity will become aware of what you're saying, Ian."
Let's hope so.
Carol Craig writes, "My husband and I adopted the phrase, 'You're not the boss of me.' It's a philosophy, and it really helped us to remember that ideology whenever someone tried to be overbearing or oppressive."
Could I just say one last thing actually about war, actually, which is Tamara, one thing that is so incredibly profound, they do a ton of peace work actually directly like on the ground in lots of different epicenters around the world, including Israel-Palestine. And so they believe that Israel-Palestine, they call it an acupuncture point in the global noosphere. And if they can achieve peace there, that would ripple out onto the world. And we filmed with members of Israelis and Palestinians in Tamara during the production of the film. And one of the Israelis actually says in the film, "It's funny that we have to go to Tamara to meet our neighbors." And it's so interesting because he's like, because the trauma field is so intense, and even more so, of course, now with what's going on, that they actually have to go to a place like a peace field in order to essentially de-armor enough to just make contact. And from contact, war inherently ends, right? Because suddenly if you're like, oh, you're not another, you're another human being, you have, dreams and wishes, all of a sudden it's like there's no war anymore. There's no opposition. And so the ability to create these peace fields is vital, just as Tamara has done, in order to actually heal the intensity of the trauma that is ongoing right now.
Well.
Well, I sure hope everybody watches Ian's film, The Village of Lovers, as part of the virtual festival of Illuminate. Ian, I know this took you 10 years, but as you said, I think it's coming out at just the right time. And that's how it happens with creative projects, right? They're birthed when they're meant to be, and when there's space and receptivity, I think, to these ideas.
Yeah, thank you. Life works in mysterious ways. So,
Ian, thank you very much. I look forward to watching your film as well, and definitely take a look to read all the comments that have come in. I know you've got to go off to a family affair, but this is really very, very beautiful. But you and Dawa and Tayana, I just always love the people that are part of the Illuminate Film Festival family.
Yes, and Paula, dear Paula, with Source to Screen.
Exactly. Yeah, there she is. And I know that Paula also needs to leave. So I just want to again acknowledge Paula. Ian, thank you so much for the wonderful work. I made one movie in my life, and I wrote it, directed, produced it. It was 3 years of my life. And I said, you know what? I'm never going to do that again. It was just I stuck to television. Television, at least I'm doing something, and now I get to do 2 shows a week. So I respect the 10 years it takes to make some movies. You know, it's an incredible commitment. So thank you for the commitment, and thank you, Paula, for now sharing what you've learned and helping people to connect their creative expression. And there's Dara. So we're kind of completing the Illuminate part of the show. We've got a lot more left, everybody. But let's just appreciate Ian, Paula, Dawa, and wonderful Tayana. And you talk about how much. It's a lot to make a movie. It's a heck of a lot to put together a festival. And so let's just give a lot of love to Tayana for taking on the incredible job of running a festival.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. And I have a beautiful group of people working alongside me who I couldn't do it without. So I appreciate all the good energy, and I will receive it in these last couple weeks as we lead up to the festival opening. So Scott, what a gift to have us all here together in community and sharing about the Illuminate Film Festival. We're so grateful for your spirit and your entire community's love. It's felt. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Dr. Laura just wrote, making a movie is like birthing a baby. Absolutely.
Yes.
Kathy writes, bless you all for this work. So thank you so much, everybody. And one more time, a reminder, the way to go is go to illuminatefilmfestival.com, illuminatefilmfestival.com. You can watch films on demand. Of course, I really want to encourage everybody, join the virtual festival. I can't wait to see the movies that we saw presented here tonight. And thank you. Look forward to a wonderful, successful festival, and God's blessings to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Scott.
Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, we still have a lot more left. We're about to bring up another person who's part of our Global Peace Tribe, and that's Dana Tomasino, who is also sticking her toe into creative expression. And she's going to share one of her creative expressions with us tonight. And then we're going to hear from John and Summer Raymer. We have another Fanny and Vigari song. So we've got some wonderful stuff coming up. But I'm going to now bring up Dana. And of course, those of you who were at our Los Angeles retreat, Dana was there. We were all in a big house together. Dana, tell us about this wonderful creative expression that we're about to watch and actually experience. And you need to unmute.
Thank you, Scott, and aloha, everyone. So I have created what I call a sacred sound infusion in honor of water. And I did this for World Water Day, which was yesterday, to honor water. And before I go further, I just want to say, if you're able to listen with headphones or earbuds to what's going to be listened to in a few minutes, it really is optimal because it was designed to be listened to in that way for more of a multidimensional experience. So if you have those, run and get them. In any case, in the past few years, I've been developing my voice as a conduit for divine energy, for higher dimensional energy, the same kind of frequencies and energies that I work with in my healing work. And I've begun to create these sacred sound infusions. And even more recently, I've begun to combine them with video. And this one is on water. And I have to say that I've had a very long, inspired journey in my life, a long relationship with water. And it started even in my late adolescence. I became interested in water as an energetic communicator, quite a bit before those concepts became more popularized globally. So I had that interest and that passion, and it was actually that passion to understand water as an energetic communicator, really as a consciousness, that opened up my whole spiritual path. And that interest and passion led me to the HeartMath Institute, where I became part of their scientific research team for 12 years. And some of the very early research that I did there in the first few years was on water and subtle energy, water's ability to hold and transmit information. And I really believe that water is probably the most advanced consciousness that exists on our planet. It is a multidimensional consciousness. It has an intelligence. It is a master energetic communicator. And I would say that all of the bodies of water on our planet form an energetic communication network. And actually, it's my dream to also eventually work with sound in water, to work with sound in water environments, and to work with sound in the ocean, to work with some of the Earth's energy grids that lie in the ocean using sound. So as we listen and view the images that I put together for this video and the sound transmission, I encourage you to not just listen as though you're listening to a song or view it as though you're viewing a program, but just immerse yourself in the sound and in the images, be in them. And in fact, I would just like to kind of lead us in just a mini meditation to connect with water, the essence of water as consciousness. So let's just take a few moments to connect with our heart. And taking some nice breaths through the heart. Deepening our breath. Deepening our presence into that stillness that we find in our heart space. And from this space in the heart, let's imagine that we are actually immersed in water, that water is surrounding us and holding us. And from this space, we can begin to radiate this pure love into water. And knowing that as these coherent waves from our heart emanate, they are interacting with the wave patterns present in water. And there is an interaction, there is a communion. And we can intend to deepen that connection, to deepen that communion with the essence of water. And in this experience we're about to have, to be open to what water has to communicate with us, to what it has to share, with what impressions we receive from the intelligence that is water. As we continue to send love and appreciation out into all of the waters that exist. So we can share the video, and there's no sound at the beginning, and also just please share it till the very end. Thank you for watching and being in that with me. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating in that experience.
It's beautiful. I love the synchronicity that literally just coming into our Zoom room was one of our wonderful Global Peace Tribers who calls herself Waterfall. She just came in. And Dana, I've put into the chat box a little bit about Dana. And obviously she is one of our beloved Global Peace Tribers. And she is also really wanting our support. And so she has created a GoFundMe, which I just donated to actually while the video was playing.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. And here it is. So we can support Dana's work in sacred sound. She's looking to raise $4,444. And we can all support her with that. So again, the link is in the chat box. Or for those of you watching on Facebook, if you just go to GoFundMe and I guess put in Dana Tomasino or support my work in sacred sound, and you'll be able to find it.
Oh, I'll put the link I can put the link in the chat as well for the GoFundMe.
Yeah, no, I put the link in the chat.
Okay.
I did that.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I'm explaining for all the people who can't access the chat.
Oh,
all
right,
of the people.
the Facebook people, of course. Yes, and I really appreciate your support. Any and all contributions are sincerely appreciated. And this is really to help me expand this work. So far, I've been doing it with almost no equipment, almost no technical setup at all. And I've just been giving these as free offerings. And to take it to the next level, which Spirit is really moving me to do, I do need another level of support. So I appreciate this community and your care and your support, and please share the link too. You never know who's gonna drop in and what synchronicities and miracles that we'll have. So thank you all, and I'll also put my email in the chat if anyone wants to get in touch, and the YouTube link for this video.
Fabulous. And again, thank you, Dana. Thank you, everybody. By the way, Dana, there's a lot of comments. Definitely read all the comments that came into the chat box during the video. A lot of beautiful comments coming in.
People who understand and love water like I do.
Well, absolutely. And I think water is one of the main things that we're recognizing that we have to honor and work with. Like you said at the beginning, there's magic in the world, it's in the water. And for Waterfall Good, wondering, what were you talking about when I came in? We just watched a wonderful movie video and kind of a sound experience called The Water Prayer. And the link is in the chat box. We'll pop it back in there again. You know, more and more what I'm doing with Global Peace Tribe is really helping us to come together as a community. And that shows up in raising money for people like Piper Dillums and Eleanor Joy, and tonight for Dana. And more, I'm really wanting to put the spotlight on some of you. And so next Wednesday night's show, once every 3 months now, we do what I call the community show, where we hear from you. And so if any of you have been a little bit shy, but you know, there's something you'd like for our tribe to know about. It might be an author that you love. It might be music that you really enjoy, or it might be something you're doing. Just like, you know, in a moment, we'll hear from Christy Michaels, who's always got something that she's doing. Wednesday night, this upcoming Wednesday night, March 27th, is the night to do that. So for those of you watching on Facebook, if you haven't joined the Global Peace Tribe, this is a really good time to do it. And it's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. And that takes you to our website, and you can learn all about it. It's all about the different shows and events that we do, a little bit about our history. You can get a wonderful free book provided by Deborah Giusti, and then click register for the new season. And this is a great time to register for the new season because it actually starts in April, although we've let people in a little bit early. And it goes all the way through till the end of June. What does that mean? It means that you're going to get the personal Zoom room links to all of our shows from now through June 30th. And we do a show every Wednesday night and every Saturday night. Plus, this spring, I'm doing a lot of special events. We're going to do another evening with Marianne Williamson, just us interviewing and talking with her. We're going to be doing something with Michael Beckwith, something with Andrew Harvey, and we're going to be doing more and more hybrid events, kind of like the one we did last week with the Twin Ray, where we have a live event that I'm co-hosting either in Ashland, Oregon, or in Marin County. People can come to the live event, or all of you can watch it online. And we're going to be doing quite a few of those this spring. So come and join the Global Peace Tribe. We do need your support to make all these things happen. And you can come in at all sorts of levels as low as $22 to get all the links to our Zoom rooms. And also you'll get the replays. We provide all the recordings of our shows. We're about to celebrate, in 2 weeks, we'll be celebrating our completion of 4 full years and over 500 editions of Global Peace Tribe shows. So a lot going on, and come be a part of it. And again, if any of you want to present this Wednesday night, let me know. Drop me an email or send me a text message and let me know what you'd like to present, and I'll make sure you're on the agenda. And speaking of community, 2 of the great community builders I've ever met are John and Summer Raymer, and they are with us tonight. Are you still in Hawaii?
Yes.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yes.
Aloha.
We are on the road. Yes.
Yes. We were up at 4 a.m. to head to Pele for a sacred ceremony that's connected to all of the good that's coming down, Scott. And, you know, Palenque has just finished with Brother Phil and Adriana. Indigenous voices all over the world are rising with their allies. Fires are being lit. And thank you so much for everything you're doing here. And thank you to everyone for all the love and support. That GoFundMe that we did paid for what happened down there. And we've launched this sacred covenant, a global pledge of unity. So I want to share with you about that when the moment's right. But I'm just so grateful to you. So we just pulled over here. We're a little tired, but we're here and grateful for it.
We're tired, but our spirits are high, as we were at the crater of Kilauea, which is the home of goddess Pele, at sunrise for a very special ceremony with led protocol by a very dear Indigenous elder, Lonnie, who supported to make sure we did all of the right things and led us to a tree that is connected to her sacred ancestor lineage. She calls Pele, she calls her Nunu.
Right.
Yeah, like grandmother, Pele. So yes, and we are so grateful to be here and on the other side of Dana's offering to that beautiful water as the ocean surrounds us here, the medicine. So grateful to come in on those frequencies with our dear sister Dana.
Yes.
So I've pulled up, I'm assuming since you're in a car, it might not be so easy for you. Here is what we're talking about, the sacred covenant of uniting humanity and restoring Mother Earth.
Right, that's the covenant right there.
Right. So tell us about it. And then if you want, I can click to the pledge when the time is right. But tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, it's really beautiful because it seems to touch a part that all of us can relate to. This idea to unite humanity and restore Mother Earth. And we've gotten a ton of responses already. And then what I went ahead and did, and I did this before during Awakening to Humanity's Sacred Mission, is I've summarized these. I went to ChatGPT and I said, okay, take all of these responses to the question, why did I make the pledge? And we thought it would be nice for you guys to hear our collective voice. This is what people have said so far as summarized by ChatGPT, okay? So why did I make the pledge? Well, driven by a profound personal and spiritual... Okay, hold on. What did I do here?
Yeah, let me. And so this is a distilling down of many voices around the world alongside Palenque. that have been sharing their pledges. And this is a distilling down of the sort of voice collectively, along with Palenque.
Driven by a profound personal and spiritual call to action, individuals making the pledge to unite humanity and restore Mother Earth, embrace indigenous wisdom, integrating sustainable practices, rewilding, and harmonious coexistence with nature. This commitment, fueled by a deep sense of responsibility towards future generations and the planet, acknowledges the urgent climatic, ecological, and spiritual crises our global community faces. It underscores the belief in the profound power of unity, love, and collective action, guided by the rich insights of indigenous cultures that honor our interconnectedness with all beings. Through this sacred covenant, pledgers not only aim for a future of peace, balance, and respect for all life, but also commit to becoming guardians of the earth, advocating for its healing and thriving based on principles of mutual support and the timeless wisdom passed down by indigenous peoples. That was the summary of our words. And we invite everyone to make the pledge. So,
And also it's the words with Palenque, because all the ceremonies that happened in Palenque is connected to so many of us that it's time we want to restore our humanity, and it's time for us to do it. So this is an opportunity, and many people that were at Palenque, they participated in this pledge, and it was a very significant part of the conversations that I think would be really good to share that context as well, as those ceremonies came to a close today.
Yeah, of course, World Water Day, that's part of what's been happening. The 22 women's prayers for the 31st month happened yesterday. So it's a culmination of a lot of work, 50 years of Phil's life, the whole reunion of the eagle and the condor, the quetzal and the hummingbird. You can go there and write. So, and in fact, Scott, you might want to show this. If people still have more questions, that's the actual form to fill out the pledge. But go back and you see that the place where people can, and here's what's happening, learn more about the pledge. So if you go back to that homepage, right, down below the people on the top, it says, it's beautiful what's said there, but if you want to learn more about the pledge, you see that little button above, make the pledge? There's a button there.
I'm clicking it. Yeah, I'm clicking it.
And that kind of unveils in more detail there are 4 sections. And there's the foundational framework, there's the core commitments, there's the strategic approaches, and then there's this continuous improvement. So the idea is that we continue to evolve this narrative about our sacred covenant, and we can evolve the pledge over time. Just in the way you heard me summarizing here, that's what we intend to do. So we're in a new world. The future is not like it was in the past. And the indigenous voices are rising with their allies. We're grateful to everyone in the Global Peace Tribe and you, Scott, for your leadership here to say, hey, let's make this pledge. Let's take this into action plans that drives into one world. So the beautiful bridge that we're building from the pledge to the ability to put forward actions there and support each other in unprecedented, unified ways. That's kind of what we see emerging that we wanted to offer up as some feedback from what this last week has been about.
And there were some questions in the chat. I just want to acknowledge too. Some of the people asking about where the Palenque events. So there were many ceremonies that were live streamed, and the place that they were live streamed is mostly the home landing page was Walking the Red Road, which is Hereditary Chief Phil Lane's Facebook page. So you can really be with they were live thanks to Shonda and Mother Earth Network and so many organizations that supported through via Zoom hosting, and Gail Thomas and so many incredible organizations that supported what was happening right there on the lands. And I was just remembering a conversation you had, finally talking to Brother Phil, you know, how was it? And he said it's beyond the dreams. Like, it was beyond what he could imagine. And that's for those of you that maybe saw some pictures of him sitting next to 100-year-old elder from the Amazon. I mean, these were really profound constellation work where there were people coming together representing all these different parts of the Americas, and the healing and prayers and the ceremony work that they did for 7 days.
And Phil's point is this. He's been saying that, look, we have no right, we the indigenous people, to tell other people how the world should unify. But if we can model it in the Americas and show that happening, and they are, and that's what's happening here, that then this could be a beacon of light to all of us on the earth, to recognize the importance of the indigenous voices that have been ignored, and the opportunity for us as allies to come together in this unprecedented way. That's why the pledge, the idea of a global pledge of unity, we call here the Sacred Covenant, .earth, to unite humanity, restore Mother Earth.
So yes, on the Facebook page, you can see replays of many of those over this past week. The opening ceremony was profound. So that happened on, what day was that?
17th, the 18th.
It was a week ago. Anyway.
I see that Sylvia has her hand up. Sylvia, do you have a question or a comment? You spotlighted.
Yes. I know
Sylvia.
Shonda Clausen had some adventures with posting the Zooms. So they can be found on her page, which I'm posting the link to that for anyone who's interested.
Yes. And most of those too, Sylvia, were shared when there was trouble onto Walking the Red Road. Those videos that had challenging going live but you'll still find them if you scroll on the Facebook page. You'll see.
This was in Chiapas, and we got a Starlink there to be able to get onto the internet. I mean, we really are doing our very best to connect us all up to this expression of unity.
And thank you to the Global Peace Tribe, like Sylvia. I saw you in that Zoom room a lot with Gail, and we're all, we're in this together. And Deborah, Robin, so many people that, it really is a global beloved community that's happening here.
Your work has been extraordinary on this. Thank you, Summer and John.
Feeds our soul. It really feeds our soul.
Thank you.
Tremendous sense of purpose.
Back at you, Sylvia.
This is what I
put in the chat box. There's a lot of YouTube links for Chief Phil. For those of you who don't do Facebook, you can go on YouTube. Just put in the search Chief Phil Lane Jr., or you can use the link that I just put in there. Also, just want to let you know, John and Summer, that I was on a retreat all week long here in Ashland, Oregon, 45 of us. And we lit a sacred fire using ashes, because it was with the Twin Ray. They were with Chief Phil when the original 8th fire was lit. He gave them some of the ashes. We took those ashes, created a huge bonfire that we lit before sunrise on the day of the equinox, praying and connecting to our tribe in Palenque. And so it was very, very powerful. So I just want to let you know.
I love that. And I feel the synergy with that as that part of the offering to Pele at sunrise this morning was bringing those ashes that you're talking about, that the Twin Ray and dear Brother Phil from the 8th fire in November in Mexico. Those ashes are spreading and building, but we offered that to Pele. So there's an incredible participation now anchored with the elementals out here on the Hawaiian Islands.
And Scott,
it's
fair to ask this question. Why is this pledge going to be any different? Why is it going to be different? And that's where the bridge to one world. In fact, if you could share that screen, it would be great. If you look, what we've done is we've set up a space in one world for the global pledge of unity.
Which page do you want me to go to?
So go to oneworld.earth.
One World, okay.
And there's a space there now on the left for the global pledge of unity. And you can learn more about the pledge there. Your feedback to it is so vital to just be able to tune in and listen to each other like we haven't been able to. But even more importantly, there are resources.
Oneworld.earth.
Yeah.
It's not coming up.
One World, O-N-E world.
Oh, here it goes.
Yeah, there.
Got it. Okay, it took a minute. All right, so here?
On the left, there should be the Global Pledge of Unity.
Yep, here it is, Global Pledge of Unity.
Yeah. And, okay, so this tells you a little about the Sacred Covenant. And then, you see where it says News? So you can learn more about the pledge, but click on News.
Okay.
And there, you'll see Unity and Restoration, Empowering Our Sacred Pledge from Mother Earth. You click on that second one down there. Click there. Bring that Unity and Restoration up. And I just said, why is this different? And the difference is the support that we can provide to each other. Whether you're signing as an individual or whether you're representing a group of organizations. If you scroll down, you'll see there's an image in there of what these kind of support structures can look like. Whether, we've got people that are helping us find these grants for people who need support for their organizations. There's resources here to help us learn. We've got Patricia Ann Davis's course up there, a course on radical collaboration by teaming up. You click on that little mind map there, you'll see it opens up, showing, maybe it's hard for folks to see, but you can see that I believe we're at a place where no longer we can just make promises and they go unfulfilled. We can actually take these commitments that we're making and get behind each other in our efforts to unify, to unite humanity and restore Mother Earth. And it's there. And that's where the bridge to follow through. It's awareness plus commitment that's followed through upon that's going to make the change.
And a lot of those links are sent when you do actually make the pledge, not take the pledge. Those links do get sent to the pledgers. So you don't have to remember all that information and all those links. It's all coming to you.
We're refining how to do this, how to really care for each other, and care like what you've been doing with the Global Peace Tribe. And
hey, we're all in it together, and we're in it together all the way into the golden age. And I do believe that we're all walking each other into a new reality. And everybody has their role to play. We're all little imaginal cells finding each other to create the butterfly of the new paradigm. And John and Scott, you are two of my favorite imaginal cells.
Oh, we love you, Scott. Love you, Scott.
Well, we are imaginal cells right there with you, and some really profound wings that we are, it's time to stretch those wings with the condor, the eagle, the quetzal, and the hummingbird to feel into what, wings we are connected to wherever we are on planet Earth. And time again, I'm reminded of that when I'm with you, Scott, of that sense that we really are in this together, and every movement matters as we are dancing souls to that song. I just think of our dear sister Kristen Hoffman. Welcome to the golden age. I mean,
by the way,
Kristen
is my co-host for next week's show. And next week's show is all about how we raise our vibration together, how we raise our frequency together. And Kristen's got some great things planned. So, and earlier today we had the Illuminate Film Festival on. Every year we support the Illuminate Film Festival, and oh my God, these amazing films that have been made. We had the woman who made the movie Awake. I don't know if you saw the Yogananda documentary a few years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, she was on with us about an hour ago. It's so beautiful how many people, everyone is finding their role. They're finding their role to play. And it's a blessing when we know what our role is to play. And for those people watching who don't know yet what your role is, it's okay. Just keep tuning in, pray, meditate, and pray for divine alignment to know, okay, I'm feeling called to do this. And sometimes people are feeling called to just leave a job or leave a relationship and clear the space to then have the time and the availability to do whatever your divine role might be. And sometimes it's the same divine role for 20 years, and sometimes what we're doing is changing every couple of days. It's all quite magical, however.
Yes. And to remember that it is truly a magical experience to be living into the dreams that our ancestors, are wishing to be. Yeah.
It's always the right time to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's always the right time to do what you love with the people you love. That is such a privilege.
Yeah.
That just feeds our soul, and we're so grateful to everybody here.
And in that doubt, but what is that? What would John Baptiste say?
Take a deep breath.
Drink water.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your beautiful Hawaiian vacation. You both deserve it. I love you both so much. Thank you for all that you're doing to create community. There's a lot of messages coming into the chat box of people appreciating you. And I love you both very much. Aloha.
Mahalo.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
What a beautiful community we are so blessed to be a part of. We still have a few more things left. We're going to hear from Christy Michaels. We're going to have a final Fanny and Vigar song, and Diara is going to lead a group healing experience for us. But carrying on with the spirit of community, I'm going to turn it over briefly to Christy Michaels. Christy, what are you up to?
Thank you so much, Scott. Oh my God. You did it again. I mean, this movies and everything tonight, and what John and Summer were just talking about. We are having the 14th annual Magdalene Moonrise Easter celebration on Easter evening, because the feminine is the moon. So we do a moonrise service. Typically, Easter is a sunrise service for the masculine. And we're bringing back the feminine and honoring Magdalene's place as an equal, because Jesus' brilliance was that he appeared to her. And that's because he was trying to elevate the status of women. And I feel like the rise of the divine feminine is a huge social justice issue. My 4-year-old little granddaughter is going to be in this ceremony that we will be having to celebrate and honor the rise of Magdalene as an equal partner in partnership with Yeshua. She is being raised Jewish, and that one of the social justice issues is that when the crucifixion happened, you had the split and the demonizing of the Jewish people, and this rise of this white nationalist Christian evangelical movement that's separating out. We're bringing it back together for healing. And so my little granddaughter is going to walk down the aisle carrying in front of her heart the painting of Mary Magdalene as an empowered, enlightened feminine that was done by an artist up in Mount Shasta. And so I went over to show her the painting, and she looked at the painting and she just stopped for a minute. And she went, wow, she's beautiful. It was like her eyes fell on this sacred, empowered feminine, and she was being informed. Now, when I was 4 years old, my mother didn't even have a clue. We didn't even know that there was a Gospel of Mary Magdalene that told about how empowered Magdalene really was and what a leader she was in her partnership with Jesus. None of that, it was all suppressed. She was a prostitute and a penitent sinner and all this stuff. And the Gospel of Mary Magdalene revealed, no, there is no sin. And not only that, but she became in what is called full consciousness, that like the movie Awake, she was the awakened one. She realized she got that. And the other thing about the ceremony is return is supposed to be heaven on earth, not heaven in the heavens. It's supposed to be heaven on earth. So we will have, I am being sent, the ashes from the eighth fire will be in our ceremony. We are going to show the Koji film with the messages from the Divine Mother. We will have an altar area where people can pray to the Cosmic Mother. The sanctuary where we're going to be in at Fairfax Community Church is full of beautiful, stunning artwork, all about the Cosmic Mother and the Black Madonna and Magdalene and whatnot. So if you can't be there physically in person, you can come and be online. And I also made a little movie trailer. I made my own little movie trailer to tell the story of my granddaughter, because they just got back from France and they made the pilgrimages up to the cave of France. And, you know, in her gospel, and I'll end with this, but in her gospel, they talk about Magdalene becoming the fully realized, that means a fully integrated human being, right? With the Shakti Shiva, the outer female is integrated with the inner male, and the inner male is integrated with the outer female. I mean, it's like both and. We learn to become whole. And my little 18-month-old grandbaby is in the crypt, going up to the statue where the Magdalene is in the cave, in the statue. And she knows how to walk. And she gets down on her hands and knees, and she makes the pilgrimage up to the statue, crawling, hands and feet. And then when she stands up before the Magdalene, she's eye to eye with her. And she looks at her and she goes, Mama, Papa, Mama, Papa. She recognized that she was before an integrated whole person. So I put the link to the film in the chat, and you can go to my website, gospelofmarymagdalene.info, and the little movie trailer is on there. And the beginning tells that story of their little pilgrimage, and you can see Magdalene, a little 18-month-old seeing Magdalene for the first time. And she's like, wow, Mama, Papa, Mama, Papa. I mean, this is, and by you showing up and participating and helping to support us and buying your tickets and being a part of this, you give these children a chance to be raised with the knowledge of the risen feminine. So thank you, Scott, for supporting.
Thank you so much. So again, you can learn more by going to gospelofmarymagdalene.info, and I'm pulling it up right now for us to look at. gospelofmarymagdalene.info, and you can learn all about this amazing event that's going to happen on Easter
Sunday. Keep going down just a little bit more, and you'll see the movie. There's the little movie trailer about the fairy tale. We're changing the fairy tale for little girls.
Fabulous.
So, thank you.
Thank you so much for all that you do, and hopefully a lot of you will be able to make it on Easter Sunday. What a beautiful way to celebrate the true Easter. Thank you, Christy. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right. Well, it's been another amazing, wonderful show. And we are going to go to Fanny and Vigari for some music. Just want to let people know again, next Wednesday night is our community show. Already some of you have reached out to me with ideas that you should like to share, contribute. So please, everybody, join us Wednesday night. Also, it's real important for everybody to register for the new season. We do have a new season starting in 1 week. So register now so that you don't miss any editions of The Awakening World. And as I said before, I'm really excited about a lot of the special events that I'm going to be putting on. We're going to be doing a lot more than just the Wednesday and Saturday night shows. So I'm putting into the chat box how to register. come join us. And honestly, we need your support to keep things moving and grooving and moving forward. So please do come and register. Join us next Wednesday night, our community show. And a week from tonight, Kristen Hoffman and a lot of wonderful people. And it's all about raising our vibration together, raising our frequency. So, and I think Fanny and Vigari are giving me the cue that they're about ready. So I'm going to switch over to them. Hey, you two, have you enjoyed the show?
It's been wonderful, quite interesting.
It was amazing.
Oh, good.
Elevating, illuminating, to see our family is alive around the world and how we connect with each other and how important it is to remember who we truly are, to live here in harmony with one another, to go back to our true selves on this planet Earth. Thank you for this wonderful show. We are illuminating and remembering ourselves. So here we go with our song, Remember, which is on our Bandcamp. Go get it. Much love. Here we go. This voice I hear through deep space and time. This voice is intrinsic. It unites us all as one, into the light, into the love. Source of all things. You came into life, you did, you are. Here you are, here you are. Remember? Remember? Remember who you are, remember. Remember? Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember. Remember who you are. Remember. My senses, my joy, my awareness. This light becomes a blissfulness. like a blessing to the world. You came into life. You did. You are. Here you are. Remember? Remember? Remember who you are. Remember. 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 At the end of the rainbow, there is a pot of gold, a golden treasure your heart beholds.
I'm just gonna let the doctor know.
The golden treasure of your heart is gold. Gold at the end of the rain. Remember who you are. Remember you are gold dust, gold light. Remember who you are. Remember pure love, pure light. Remember who you are. Remember you are gold dust, you're sunshine. You are divine being for light. Remember who you are. Remember the flame. You are the flame of the one, like a blessing to the world. You came into life. Here you are. Remember. Remember who you are. Remember we are one love, one light. Remember who you are. Remember my love. Remember children of the world. Remember my love. Remember who you are. We are one love, one light, one song, one family, one divine energy. You and me, family. To all our elders, our children around the world. Remember who you are. Remember. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember you are love. Remember.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's just Twinkle, our beloved Fanny and Brigard, for such gorgeous, beautiful music. Thank
you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Gonna go to full gallery view.
It's so wonderful to be with you all and feel this divine energy that is being multiplied with this global peace tribe. Thank you. Great.
Thank you. And I remind everybody, let's support them by getting their music. And the best way to do that is to go to the mystiques1111.bandcamp.com. The mystiques1111.bandcamp.com. And where are you geographically right now? Where are you guys, where have you landed?
We are back on Salt Spring Island, which is just off the coast of Vancouver, west coast of Canada. And while we look for our permanent home, we're staying at the house of a friend who has been kind enough to provide us with
So this is our bedroom here, baby. We are having
Oh my
a bedroom
God.
concert show.
Yeah, this is a bedroom concert.
It does not look like a bedroom. It looks like the most beautiful studio in the world. You guys did a fantastic job. It looks fabulous. Wow. Well, thank you for helping us to remember who we are. And yeah, a lot of people today from the Northwest. Of course, Eleanor Joy's up in the Northwest, and one of our filmmakers was from the Northwest. So definitely. And John and Summer Raymer, although they were in Hawaii today, they live up in the Northwest. So we are well represented up there. And love you so much, Fanny and Vigari. Thank you very much. You always bring so much beautiful energy to our show and to our world, to our awakening world. Thank you. All right. Well, we are going to conclude with we always do, or almost always do, some form of a healing experience. Sometimes it's KES group healings. And our wonderful Diara is going to, she is, used to be Omashar as the Alpha and the Omega. Well, now it's Diara. She started with the cheerleading of our Awakening World video, and now she's going to close us out with a beautiful healing experience. So thank you so much. I want to bring up Kit Thomas for a moment. Kit, you are actually on right now. If you can hear me, this is my other namesake. People always got Scott Thomas confused with Kit Thomas. He also is the beloved of our co-host tonight, Tayana David. And I noticed you popping on, so I want to say hello, Kit.
Blessings and gratitude.
How's everything going with all that you guys are creating for the festival?
We've been climbing the mountain of producing this festival for about 4 months now, and no matter how hard and how fast we climb, it seems like the top is still just as far away. Finally, it's starting to feel closer. We're 2 weeks out, and so much has come together. As Tayana mentioned earlier, there's such a beautiful constellation of souls that have come together to help birth this next generation of the Illuminate Festival, which was incubated for 9 years in Sedona, and now which is a community of 9,000 people. And the board felt that it was ready to be in a larger community and closer to an airport, and so. But it has been basically a whole reinventing of a lot of it to scale it up to be a Santa Barbara Film Festival, and but we're so excited. It's hit a point now where it feels like we're in the groove, and
well, congratulations. I know it's a lot of hard work, and I love you, my brother, and I know it's going to be great. A lot of our people have signed up for the virtual pass. I know some people are having a little trouble. A couple of people mentioned they were having trouble figuring out how to get the virtual pass, but some of our people did, and some are having trouble.
2 things about that. First of all, if there's time and if anybody's interested, first of all, they can reach out to us. But if you want to put the Illuminate homepage back up, I can just show everybody quickly how to find their way to that. But the other thing is that for people who may be interested in coming to Santa Barbara or who are in Santa Barbara, there are lots of individual tickets left. The all access passes sold out so fast. It was crazy. We had no idea that was going to happen. But literally for every film, there's plenty of individual tickets left. And for Deepak Chopra on Friday night, for Joe Dispenza on Saturday night, that we have tickets available. And if you're having trouble, feel free to reach out to me or Tayana.
Okay, but show us what's the easiest way for people to buy the virtual package?
Tayana, just let's make sure. Yeah, so Tayana's gonna just make sure I do this right. So if we go to 2024 festival and scroll down just not very far, you see virtual on the right, in person on the left.
Right. And then this is where you can get the I see, so the members only pass for people that are members of Illuminate Film Festival. And for non-members, they go here and they buy 65.
That's right.
So it's 65 now. This is where people, I guess, got confused, which says, please enter your email to sign up or log in or continue with Facebook. Okay. And, oh, I see. This is an optional donation that people can add. Okay. So then they can just, we'll say continue with Facebook, continue with Scott.
You know, there are individual tickets even available for the virtual festival, but it's silly that the pass is so inexpensive. It's silly not to just grab one, because it gives you access to everything, not just the films, but also panels and interviews, post-screening discussions and things like that, plus the award ceremonies that won't have happened at the live event. The audience award is going to be announced. That's going to be a live event in the virtual festival. And also Emmanuel and the Holo Movement are going to be doing a really beautiful presentation about the Holo Movement live during the virtual festival.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Kit. Take good care of Tayana. I know it's going to be a big success, and we'll stay in close touch.
Thank you, beloved community. Thanks to the master puppeteer.
All right. And there's our beloved Eleanor Joy, who is still moving and grooving to this last song. We love you so much, Eleanor Joy. And just wanted to pop you on again for people to send you lots of love. All right. We are going to conclude with a wonderful healing experience. Thank you so much, Tiara. And put a spotlight on you and share with us what we're going to be experiencing.
Thank you, Scott. Hello, everyone. What a beautiful, beautiful evening. Just filled with the sound of the water and Dana's voice and the music by Fanny and Vigari. That was just magical. And so we're going to continue that magic. We're going to continue the integration of our masculine and divine feminine selves. And we're just going to fall into prayer and see what happens. So everyone, make yourselves comfortable, even more comfortable than you are. And we can let our left linear brain know that we'll be in a healing meditation activation for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you're welcome to just fall away and fall asleep. You're welcome to go deeper into your exploration of our community. You're welcome to go deeper into your exploration of yourself. And so you can feel the field softening and deepening. You can feel the field becoming even more quiet now. You can feel the field allowing the resonant tones of the music to continue, the harp, the bass, the vocals. You can allow the magic of the water flow and the beautiful visuals and Dana's beautiful voice. You can allow your own sacred sound to come forward now. And take another deep breath in, just allowing yourself to receive all the love, all the blessings, all the magnitude of goodness that is here tonight and beyond. And allow your body to receive this peace. Just feel your entire system settling down, down, down. Allowing those waters that flow through your body to ease on down, to move and matriculate through your own ecosystem, your own beautiful biofield, and allowing that right brain to become even more active, activating the integration of all the hemispheres that we are, for we do remember who we are. And just breathing that in, drawing in the divine masculine, the divine feminine, drawing in that beautiful linear power that we have and that magical illuminal essence that we are. For we are all of it. We are heaven and we are earth. And you can feel yourself expanding and contracting, opening and closing, flowing in and flowing out in the way that's right for you. And taking another breath in and another breath out. And allowing these energies to move through your system and beyond in the way that's right for you now. Some of you may want to bring this beautiful energy deeper into your physical body. Others may want to send this beautiful energy out into your emotional body, soothing, calming, mental body as well, your etheric body as well. And any part of you that requires more regenerative energy can bring that in at the same time. It's amazing how all this happens automatically, uniquely. And your body and your mind and your soul know exactly what to do in every moment, listening to every word and every space in between now. Allowing that silence to fill the spaces. Allowing that light to come in. Filling your entire being, your entire essence with more light now. And some of you may experience that light in your body. Some of you may see that light. Some of you may feel that light. You may feel it as heat or coolness. And just noticing, noticing, noticing as you drop down even deeper now. And as you allow yourself to traverse time and space, going beyond time and space now, going back to your original essence, your original blueprint, back when you were a mere speck of a thought, a whisper. And in this space, when you were and are indeed all of it, allowing the magnitude of that strength, that divine masculine strength that you are, no matter what body you're in this lifetime. And allowing the beautiful softness of your divine feminine to come in again to this body, no matter what you are and who you are. And notice your own version of that and how that fits into your desires and your makeup. Notice that the divine feminine is strong as well, and the divine masculine so soft and loving, compassionate. The divine feminine, that fierceness when you're protecting from love, and that divine masculine when you're showing grace and maximum compassion. And just allow those different energies to move through your body, integrating. Allow yourself to explore desire to accentuate more of one than the other. Allowing yourself to be even more feminine and graceful. Allowing yourself to be more steadfast and true. That divine beauty that you are, the all of it. And allowing that spectrum to open, giving yourself permission to shine forth even more now as to who you truly are. For we have all been all of it. And just breathing that in, allowing the truth of that to continue to permeate. And allowing yourself to receive even more love from this beautiful community tonight, no matter where you are, no matter when you're listening and receiving. And feel the flow of that love, that emotion, that water of love in motion, energy in motion. And for those of you who would like to just drift away into your rest, you may do so. For those of you that require a more conscious state of being, allow yourself to bring yourself ready back, allowing for change in volume. As we close together this beautiful evening, this beautiful event, and we thank each other, we thank our guides, we thank all those seen and unseen that make this possible. Truly, we are blessed. Truly, we are grateful. Truly, we know that we are the ones we have been waiting for, and we are ready to shine. We are here. We are love. And so it is. And just breathing in as you allow yourself to recalibrate, to continue to rejuvenate. Knowing that you can tap into this energy field anytime, just thinking of all the beautiful ones here, loving and supporting each other. We are family. We are friends who have become family. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, all beloveds.
Thank you, Tiara. And on Wednesday night, I'd love for you to share more about what you're doing with helping to bring spiritual diversity into our educational system. It's so important. And thank you so much for beautiful healing. Also, a reminder that every Sunday night, we do the meditation still, a kind of combination of Twin Ray Community and Global Peace Tribe. Still do it every night at 6:30 p.m. And the Sunday night ones are amazing. DR just does an amazing job. So this is like a nice little homeopathic dose. And if you want to have an even more complete experience, join DR tomorrow night at 6:30 as part of our Global Peace Tribe meditation. And I'll put that link into the chat box. That was very, very beautiful. And people are commenting, Dana and Morgine and Richard and Dr. Laura. Oh my gosh, all these comments are flying in. So may you relish the comments.
Thank you.
Somebody asked about the fire that took place here in Ashland. I actually took this photograph. So this is the fire that we had. It was a huge, large bonfire. It was very beautiful. And we started it at 5:30 in the morning. And then I added the words. This was our bonfire in collaboration with our friends in Palenque and the ashes of the 8th fire, which Christy Michael will carry on her Easter Sunday. I need to go grab real quickly the link for our Global Peace Tribe 6:30 p.m. meditations. And very often Sylvia helps us with, she does a little opening and closing quite often, which we appreciate. And it is, I'm putting in the chat box. And for those of you watching on Facebook, this is where you want to join us. Come join us so you get all the links that are in the chat box. And we have a beautiful community. You should see all the chat going on back and forth between all of our friends. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. So come join the Global Peace Tribe. Want to wish everybody a beautiful, sacred Sunday. Remember, we can make any Sunday or any day sacred by just choosing to see the divinity in all. Thank you again to beloveds Fanny and Vigari. Thank you so much. And Tiara, Christy Michaels, our wild monk of the Mystic Monastery. He's bringing some of his special friends on Wednesday night. Christy Michaels, the embodiment of Mary Magdalene, and all of you going to go to Gallery View. Thank you, everybody. Dana, beautiful job. Thank you. Have a beautiful evening. Have a beautiful Sunday. We'll see you all on Wednesday night. God's blessings, everybody.
Thank you. Blessings, everyone.
Good night.
Beautiful music.
Beautiful.